This week's episode is the lost pilot of the Two Guys, One Film series. They talk about the 1993 movie Demolition Man. Shall we?
Warning, spoilies ahead.
What we should do is I'll go back over this every time we curse. I'll put the noise of the you owe one credit. It's gonna take some time, but I'll do it. I've got nothing but fucking time on my hands anymore, so.
Yeah, well, that's true.
All right, well, mellow greetings.
I'm Dane.
And I'm Dylan. This is Two Guys, One Film.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, Dane?
I'm doing fantastic today. I'm off work.
Nice.
You know,
I'm going to need you to enhance your calm. Because today we're talking about Demolition Man.
ooh, pulling literal quotes from the movie.
I'm going to be pulling these.
You're trying to upstage me here.
Oh, I got fucking sheets of quotes.
I got you. I got you one right here.
Oh, yeah?
Send a maniac to catch one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
John Spartan.
Yeah. Jay Spartan.
Jay Spartan.
Right before he hops out of that helicopter.
Not a bungee, too. That's what I like. It wasn't really like a bungee. It was just like a fucking rope, and then he stops perfectly, shoots a guy while he's suspended from said rope, and then drops.
Why is there only one guy on the roof?
You'd think
That's
there'd
what
be
I was
more.
like. How did he not get shot? I mean, you can see like a lot of fire coming from the
Yeah.
bottom up to that helicopter.
Also, spoilers for if anybody who hasn't watched this. If you haven't watched it, you're a fucking idiot. Go watch it now. It's a classic from 1992. When did it come out?
96.
Yeah, no, it had to be sooner than that, right? 93.
Oh, okay. So yeah, early
It looks.
90s.
I gotta say, it looks fucking great for being 93. I think because like they don't use a lot of like CGI, like practical effects, sets, building, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think that's always makes a movie look better. But okay, first question I have off the bat: Los Angeles, 96. That's when the beginning takes place. Is all of California on fire, or just like that section? And why? Is it like constant war zone, or is it because like Simon Phoenix is control that area? Because I know that's this thing of like, oh, policeman knew, the post office man knew, bus driver didn't know.
I feel like yes, that's like kind of his spot, because he kind of talks about, or somebody talks about how he just like has like an entire spot that's basically just him. I can't remember. God,
I think it's that guy, the helicopter pilot when he's old.
yeah.
I'll have
yeah.
IMDb open. Don't worry.
All right.
Zachary Lamb.
Yeah.
I think when he's older, he says like, "See, Phoenix had a whole area, blah blah blah." I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But so like, the building explodes. It turns out the dead hostages were like in there.
Yeah.
How come in this future society they couldn't do like a thorough investigation to see that those people were already dead before the explosion went off and said, "Oh, hey, it probably wasn't him." They were just like immediately off the bat, he killed him.
Well, I mean, it seems like, to me, I guess if I were to answer that, it would be they just kind of swept stuff under the rug. I mean, with all the people that live in the like sewer, pretty much, it just seems like they're trying to like just forget about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and also when it happened, like, they hadn't really fully like done that because of what was it? 2010 is when the big one happened. And
Big
then,
old earthquake of 2010.
and it only took them a year to merge. So in 2011, that's when it became San Angeles. So I mean, he was frozen
36 years, I think it was. He said.
Yeah. So I mean, they had that long, but I mean, it was probably an open and shut case at that point because
Yeah. I mean,
manslaughter.
like 96, they should have had. I mean, they had technology of a thermal scan. I feel like they could have done like an autopsy of coroners of like, hey, these people died this way, not in an explosion, but they had to
You'd
take
think
down the
so.
Demolition
Did you
Man.
freeze?
Or are you just really intently listening to me?
It froze for a
Oh,
second.
okay. I was just like, man, he's really taking what I'm saying serious. But like, yeah, like having it somewhat of a comedy made it better to me.
Yeah.
Because like,
I mean, without the like the comedy aspect of it, Simon Phoenix would look way more messed up than he already is.
yeah, and like putting the lighthearted of like how stupid future people are. We're police. We're not trained for this.
Well, I mean, it's not stupidity. Like, what I'm noticing is it's like this guy like took over somehow, and I'm assuming that he just like played on their fear of like
Yeah.
just
Cocteau
chaos.
or whatever his name is.
Yeah. You know, because he talks about like, oh, you know, like before, you know, me, and he talks about how he just took his chance at like, you know, if I wouldn't have done this at this
Mhm.
time, you know, it's just like all. Wait, so is this guy like a weird? He comes off more as like a somewhat of like a dictator.
Yeah. Well, that's like the
It's-
typical like utopian thing where it's like not a utopia at all because
It's
of
way more of a dystopia.
yeah, like it's good for the rich people, but then for the shit people that live underground.
Yeah. And you know his just weird obsession with Edgar Friendly.
Yeah.
Who,
Also with
it's
like
just-
Oriental obsession, like what the fuck is
Yeah.
with the robes and the weird like milkman hats that everyone's
see,
wearing?
I was gonna I took that down. I'm like, what is with the Asian influence? Like,
Yeah.
what happened?
Is it like a? I don't think it's like a Blade Runner situation because like
No,
in
and
Blade
I
Runner
thought-
it
I
made
thought
sense
about
because
that too.
like there was a big Chinese influence because like they ended up being like a bigger takeover, if you will. That's why like the street language was like a mix of Chinese and English and all that shit. But like this, I just feel like he was like, you know what, robes are pretty cool.
Yeah, come
Everyone
on,
wear
the
robes.
way.
Yeah,
You know, it makes you calm.
yeah. Happy Halloween. Yeah.
So you know when he's frozen, like, are they close to drowning? And then they're like, "Psh, freeze him, because I mean,
That's-
he looks like he's fucking gonna drown.
That's I thought of that same thing. Is like that dude takes fucking forever to bring over that little glow
Yeah,
ball
he
to
just
freeze it.
saunters over like calmly. You know, no,
Like-
don't worry, he'll be fine.
Like they couldn't knock them out beforehand. It's like, nope, fill it up slowly with this jelly stuff. That's not even fucking water. It's like
No, and I'm like,
thick
I
ass
don't want to
jelly.
breathe that into my
Yeah.
lungs. That
And
would
then I'm
suck.
gonna take my time, walk over, screw this thing in, and the ball
Yeah, but
drops
he
slowly.
looks-
it doesn't drop fast. It drops
He looks
slowly.
like he's already taking liquid into his lungs when he's like,
Oh, yeah.
"Bleh,"
Yeah,
you know,
pounding on the. Yeah, that was a fucking awful way to do it because I wrote that same fucking thing down. And also, is freezing a person a good punishment? Like making them awake years later, the same age as they are. I guess like watching their loved ones be gone, but like, how is that
like
a good
that'd be
punishment?
pretty much of a punishment. I mean, that'd be pretty messed up to be just like frozen solid. Like, I mean, that'd be pretty messed up on your mind. You know,
Yeah.
not moving for like what 26, 36 years.
Yeah. It's just that, like, I don't know. It's weird to have them just be like, in 70 years, you're going to wake up same age as you are and your punishment's over. You spent your time. You're going to be the same age
Yeah,
as
but
you are in a different
also,
world.
You're also rehabilitated with like, you know, what John Spartan got, knitting. You know, I'm getting a
Okay,
little
that's
bit far
what's-
into the movie.
Like, jump ahead, which is bullshit. Why is it he was the only one rehabilitated? Like, Simon Phoenix got it. He got all the good shit. But, like, John Spartan got knitting. But when they're, like, unfreezing all the other bad guys, none of them had rehab. Because yeah, like she goes like he's like how many of them on? She's like 80, all without rehab, and I'm like, was he the only one that got it?
That's lame.
Yeah. So he got knitting, which thank God.
I know. We couldn't have like, you know, a somewhat good cop, I guess, in the
Yeah.
past be a good cop. You know,
Knits her an entire fucking sweater in a night.
I know. And who knows
Knows
what
her-
time it is when they get home? It could have
Yeah.
already been midnight.
Knows her size too, which is great. That's convenient.
Yeah, it's not creepy.
No.
I guess
Right.
when you know are implanted that, you just kind of see people and you're like, I bet you would wear this.
I could see your size. I sized you up. I know what your sweater size is.
When we brought him up, like when you and I were talking the other day, he's just evil.
Yeah.
He's just fucking evil. I mean, the first guy he kills, he stabs in the head with that like needle thing.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here like watching it, and I'm like, yeah, wow. Like
Didn't need to. Like he ripped out this eyeball.
yeah,
Didn't need to. He could have just put that guy's
unnecessary.
face up to it, but he's like, nah.
He didn't have to kill any of those guys. Like,
Yeah.
But I mean, he doesn't know that they're not, trained. I mean, he doesn't know what kind of future he's being brought into either. All he knows is that he's basically like super powered now. Because I mean,
Wakes up
that's
to kill friendly. Super enhanced too. How do you like enhance people's like muscles? Because he was like fucking strong. Like he throws a dude out of a car like through the air.
I know. Well, like it's then like some of the stuff, it's like, oh, why would you give him like that much power when
I feel like Cocteau's plan was way over the top. Like, let's overtrain a dude with everything to take one guy out so then I can fully take over. Like, that's like a huge backfire.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you need power of the sewer too. Like, just leave them alone. It's not like they're doing anything.
Get a regular guy. You don't have to over the top train a dude with everything to go take out one fucking Dennis Leary.
The military training and like the terrorism stuff. It's just like, seriously? Yeah, well, I don't know. Like as time goes on in the movie, like Cocteau just seems like a crazy son of a bitch. Like he just seems crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, like before we get too far, like this is after John Spartan's been defrosted, like when they're walking up to the station and then or no, it's not the station. I think it's when they're going to meet Simon for the first time and he sees that little like graffiti machine come out of the ground.
Oh yeah. You see that?
How do they have that technology? Like
underground graffitis?
Yeah. Like I mean, he's like, again, I'm going to jump a little bit ahead in this. Dennis Leary talks about how I'm no leader. And it's like, oh, so you can create these like somewhat like cool technological things and you can't like lead some
That's a
people.
very specific device to make of like, we're going to pop it out of the ground. It's going to spray a bunch of hoses of graffiti and it's going to come right back down. It's like, okay.
Well, that one doesn't. That one explodes.
Oh, yeah.
The one that comes right back down is his like periscope thing, which apparently he can move around because he like,
he's got periscopes all over the city, man.
Okay, I could see that. And I mean, he's already leading these people. Like
I'm no leader.
On the heist of Taco Bell, I'll just call it that. He goes, "Oh, get him!" And all these dudes just start rushing John Spartan.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to say of "I'm no leader." It makes you look like you didn't want this, you didn't ask for this, but it was given to you. You're gonna do what you can. You're gonna take it.
Okay.
John Spartan gets defrosted, which a horrible process of doing it of a laser.
I know.
Like etch around somebody so delicately.
I would not want to be the guy, the laser operator.
Yeah.
I'm like that's a lot of training right there.
What I like is I want to say that Leona Huxley's apartment and office looks like a Red Robin. Just of how much like random 90s shit is spread all over the walls.
I also thought of a like themed restaurant. I just I couldn't think of which one. I'm like, God, this looks like her house and her office look like a restaurant.
Okay, so there's that whole part where like Phoenix escapes. They're like trying to track him down through San Angeles. Mm-hmm. She is talking to the computer, then typing, and then talks to the computer, and it does what she asks. I'm like, why the fuck are you typing? Just talk to it.
Yeah, what is she doing?
She types, asks a question, and then it answers her in real time. Like, why are you typing?
But then she's typing.
Yeah, it's to look cool, and then you ask the question, and then you're like, oh. Which it got some cool technology, right? Like driving on the road with an iPad while you can talk to people, or
true, and like somewhat self-driving cars, and I don't know about that weird little like thing that you can go up to and it like I guess makes you feel better about yourself.
You bring joy feelings to all those around you.
You look great today. I like how today is spelled. It's like
a long
T-D-A.
Yeah, the long A over it. Like I'm supposed to know today.
Ta-da. You look great. Ta-da.
Ta-da. Oh, I'm possessed.
Oh, it made me laugh when I every time I see Rob Schneider, like he just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was a good time for like the world really trying to throw Rob Schneider on us. They're like, no, you're gonna love him.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this was the first time or the second time he acted with Stallone, because he's also in.
He's in Dredd. Yeah. Which I think Dredd came after this. Which this was also a good year for Sandra Bullock, because she did this and then she did Speed like right after this the next year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So she was on a fucking high on this. Like, oh yeah, let's do Demolition Man, and then just do some Speed movies with Keanu Reeves.
Sweet action movies.
Also, why does everyone have to call each other by their full names in the future? Like every person they address, first and last name. And it bothers the shit out of me because I hate being called by my first name most of the time, but I
do too.
The first and last name. Like every time, everyone is always addressed by their first and last name.
Why?
We're being really formal and polite in the future.
Well, I mean, I could see that kind of happening with the way things are. I mean, he's standing by that the machine that gives you tickets for cursing. If that would take me a long time to get used to. I would be fucking broke a lot. Like just now, I would have gotten a ticket.
Yeah, which I do want to point out the detail in that is like I like when he's at the museum or like anywhere else, you could hear that go off on the background.
Yeah.
But the places it doesn't work is like in the cars. Like when they're in the police cruiser, he's cursing and nothing happens. So it's like, is that a safe space or do they just like not catch it?
Maybe I'm gonna call it a safe space.
This is
because I mean they would have to have like one of those machines in the car to print you out a ticket. But I mean, I guess if you're a cop, they're kind of like, oh well, I mean, you're a cop. I mean, you're supposed to be upholding the law. You're not supposed to be cursing anyway.
The guy who plays Bob, the assistant Bob.
Yeah.
What the fuck is with his hair? Why is he the only person in the movie with weird future hair? Everybody else has normal hair, but he has like that like really tall cut.
Yeah.
The middle part thing, like, and then it's like white.
He has like a 1980s futuristic like hairstyle.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I'm like, why is he the only one with he's the only one with like a stripe in his hair or just like really anything futurist. Everybody looks pretty normal.
Another favorite line I have written down is the "Be well them for me." Not say goodbye. Be well them. Everything is be well.
Yeah, we don't say goodbye in the
be
future.
Well.
We just say be well.
Hey, I gotta go. Can you be well them for me?
Yeah, be well. Dylan left. He said be well.
Be well. Sorry, guys. I gotta be well.
Well, can I use words like left? He left.
No, he be welled.
Oh, okay.
He be weldered them.
He be welled out of here.
Well, he be well.
You guys want to be well?
Want to get nice one time? Want to get well one time? Let's discuss the 3 seashells.
How the hell do you use those?
My theory
all right,
is you take the first shell, right? You scoop the poop out of your crack with that one shell. You use the second shell to scrape off the poop from the first shell. Okay? And then the last shell is to clean underneath the fingernails of all if the poop gets out of underneath your fingernails. There's no way.
Who's holding the shell like that with their fingers over the top?
Well, I mean, you scrape it, it's gonna come over the top.
I'd be going at it like I'm dipping some chip.
I mean, they're still pretty small. You're still gonna get some on your fingers.
Yeah, but I mean, how much poop is left? You know, I feel like the toilet paper is a bit more sanitary than scraping it around like you're at like a Cold Stone Creamery or something. That's ridiculous.
Give yourself a tip and you got to sing.
Well, and then how do you clean them off? Do you take them to the sink and wash them off?
I feel like,
are they like a disposable shell and you just toss them in the trash? Which
that defeats the purpose of getting rid of toilet paper if you're just throwing them away and making more seashells.
Yeah.
It's one of life's great mysteries, and I honestly don't want it to be solved because I think it's one of those ponder it for all of life. You know why
the poop scraping one is the funniest one. I'm just going to accept that as what it is.
And then he just uses the ticket machine to make toilet paper, which why is damn and hell a curse word?
See, I was just about to bring that up. I'm like, well, do these guys have like religion? And if so, like, do they just like, we don't talk about the other place?
We say heck.
Yeah. HE double hockey sticks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess I have a lot of questions about the universe in which they live.
Ooh, I have a ultimate question of, Is it just San Angeles that is like that, or
Yes.
is the entire like world or state of North
Yeah,
America
is it?
like that?
Yeah, is it like
How far does like Cocteau's reach
no?
of everyone acting like this, or was like California the place of like, all right, they'll test it out, and if it does well, we'll all do it.
Yeah, I know, because it's like, is the rest of the world like all shitty, or did you guys just create a weird utopia because you had an earthquake and this is just and people just let you be the way you are,
Yeah,
or
well, it's San Angeles, let them do what they want.
like, I'll never go there. You're not even allowed to curse. You can't even say hell. But it just, I mean, with the technology, it seems like something that would be a bit more widespread with like the cars and stuff. I'm
Mhm.
like, why would just one? I mean, okay, California's big, but I don't feel like they would just start manufacturing cars and like,
So is
I
he
mean, I
like?
feel like they would still outsource.
Would he like? I don't feel like he invented the cars. Like I don't think he's like the
Mm-mm.
Steve Jobs. I think he's just like some weird
No.
religious nut that like came up with all right, no curse words. We can't have sex. We can't even kiss. No caffeine. No salt.
Well, it's what I noticed, and I'm gonna get into where when they get to her apartment is when he goes like, when he goes into lean in and kiss her, and she's like, oh, what are you doing? And he's
Breaking
like,
the
breaking the
law.
law. And she's like, fluid transfer, and she's like, ew. And that makes me think like, damn, they probably pound that shit into your head when you're a kid. So anytime anybody brings it up, you're like, oh, that's gross. Because
Oh,
as a kid,
yuck.
I mean, it's easy if they're kids because they're brainwashing them into thinking this stuff is like horrible, and like if you do this kind of stuff, like chaos will happen. And I assume that kids in this future learn about, oh, before Cocteau came, it was
In the 20th.
yeah, everybody was diseased and suffering.
Also, before I want to say that the glow rods make such a fucking annoying noise, and they're so loud. But let's go to the museum scene. Okay, let's set it up. Simon Phoenix goes there to get a gun. It's the only place you can get a gun is in a museum.
Yep, and Spartan's got a hunch. It's a cop thing.
It's called a cop thing.
I got a hunch.
And I know this is our favorite thing to talk about, but I want everybody else to know is the absurdity of Simon Phoenix's comment. Not even comment, just what he does to those like Asian kids walking.
Asian kids walking through the museum, and it's just like, again, just evil. Or
Why do you-
another thing, him just evil, just slamming that dude's head into the glass for no reason.
Yeah, just walks by
in and slam. It was hilarious. I
you
laughed.
don't. Which it's funny is there's like that part where he's getting all the guns, and there's one where he like shoots. He goes like, "Oh, excuse me, Rambo" or something. So Rambo exists in that universe. Who played Rambo?
It was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Think
It's
about
it's like a
Last Action Hero.
yeah,
Or
last
they
action
switched
hero
it.
sort of
Yeah.
situation. Yeah.
Which is funny how like the Arnold Schwarzenegger became president in the Demolition Man world.
Oh yeah, the Schwarzenegger library.
Yeah, and I do like that old, like funny rivalry between the two.
When he's getting those guns and he throws that dude through the thing and he
Yeah.
asks him how much he weighed, I'm just imagining like, what if he didn't weigh enough and he just
Yeah.
would have bounced right out of that glass? Would he have just like kept throwing him until it broke?
I feel like he would have just kept going until it stopped. One of my favorites is if you watch the TV edited for TV version,
Mhm.
and they're in the museum and they're fighting, and he's behind that little stand when they're above the actual like part of an earthquake, part of Los Angeles or whatever.
Mhm.
He does this sound. What is it? He goes like, "Oh, whoo," when he like turns around from the gun, and when the
Yeah.
chandelier thing comes down in the real movie, he goes, "Oh shit!" But if you watch the TV version, he just says the "Oh, whoo" again and jumps out of the way. I don't know why that's like burned into my fucking memory, but I love that version. It's the "Oh, whoo." Like I wouldn't make
I
that
don't know.
noise.
There's something about the TV versions. I wish that like when a movie would come out, they'd release the TV version like with the DVD or like on the DVD as well as like, or I guess
Sometimes-
Blu-ray at this point.
Because sometimes they're so much better. I
Just
wouldn't say
'cause they're-
better, but they're more.
They're ridiculous. Like
yeah,
some
it's
of
a
them,
compliment.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of these people in the future just do not know what to say because
Yeah.
they've never really been faced with this situation.
Which I do like. Leona Huxley's like getting phrases wrong, like let's lick his ass or let's
Really
blow this
lick his
guy.
ass.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that is like my brother and I have used that just just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Get your ass licked.
Your ass licked. Let's blow this guy. Take this job and shovel it. Taco Bell. So that word is said so many times in the movie after they initially say it, and I love the way Sylvester Stallone says Taco Bell like every time. You're the guy outside Taco Bell. Like so many times it is said.
Could use a burrito.
Yeah, God knows I could use a burrito. He wants to take me to Taco Bell.
A tiny burrito.
Yeah, I mean, look at that food.
It's funny. Again, I didn't realize until you had that picture back there how tiny the food actually was, because they do just such a quick shot of it.
Yeah,
Good
they
thing I
got him
wasn't
hungry. Yeah.
We're past the Taco Bell scene. When he goes home and he's watching that footage, why is the footage so shitty? Like, this is the future. Why is the footage so bad still?
Well,
it's
it's
so
like-
grainy.
It's like modern day. We have the ability. You and I are talking over the internet. Our cameras are great. You get like a fucking bank security camera footage. It's like so pixelated. You can't find the person's face.
See, I assume that some of those just haven't been updated. But this is
But like the cameras they're using to look for Simon Phoenix, and they like go from like halfway across the city and they zoom in on him. Fine. You got great audio too.
yeah. How are they
But-
hearing him?
Yeah. But
And then all of a
this-
sudden, outside the museum,
Well, it's because he gets it's on a GameCube disc. It's a very
Oh.
small disc that he gets it on. So,
so it's the compression. I see.
Mhm. He has the one gun that he gets, and he fires it so many times. Where the fuck is he getting bullets from?
That's what I was wondering. Where are they getting bullets, or where's Simon getting bullets?
I mean, he has like enough guns, but like,
Yeah, but I mean, those bullets are gonna run out. I doubt
Yeah.
that the museum just had like an extra cache of bullets just hanging out.
they're not making any more. And he's like, I want to use the line from Sin City. He's throwing those bullets like candy.
Seriously.
They literally like are throwing them at each other. Is the way I like how they shoot in the '90s movies of just like you got to fling the gun at them and it makes the bullet go
Well,
faster.
yeah, it makes the bullet go faster when you.
Of course,
fling it. Is that, are we done with the?
There's not
the
really
other
much between then. It's like Cocteau's like, you put this guy back in refrigeration, and then they
Yeah,
like
and then
go
They
underground.
defy him.
Yeah. You
They're
want to
like,
arrest me? Arrest me.
I'm like, oh yeah, right. Like they're gonna be able to arrest you.
Yeah. You're the Demolition Man. No one's
they'll
gonna
just
stop
they'll just
you.
explode if they touch you.
But there was this whole I was reading, there was this whole like subplot in the movie that they ended up taking out of the lady that John Spartan's protecting when there's like the shootout underground. That's like his daughter.
Oh, so she didn't become part of like lame society.
No, yeah.
The
So there was like
pussy
this.
whipped Brady Bunch version of itself.
Yeah,
as,
so, like-
Simon says.
Yeah, so there was like this whole thing that like that lady that he's like sheltering is his daughter. So like they had this whole thing. that they
Why
ended
does
up
she
cutting.
have like a like? It's like she's like not Mexican. What is it? Because of her like hat and stuff. She's like,
No, not the lady that gives him the rat burger.
oh, that's what I thought you were talking about. I'm like,
No,
what?
like the actual shootout that's happening between like Simon Phoenix and all the
and
bad
when,
guys.
Like, and when Simon's about to shoot John and
Yeah.
Dennis Leary fires that thing, that girl.
Yeah, there's like this lady
Oh,
that he's
okay.
like sheltering.
Yeah, he's like holding on to her.
yeah, that's his daughter.
Oh,
But
I
they
mean,
cut
I
that
don't
out.
know. I mean, it was so late in the movie. It just seems like kind of a.
It's weird because like the end of the movie seems so rushed,
It does.
which is great. I mean, it's fine. It works for a movie, but like they have all this build up to it, and then suddenly like they go underground, and then like from there shit just happens.
I have a question about the sewer people. Like, are they sustaining themselves on just rats, or are they just like how are they all? There's a lot of people down there.
You tell this
Like,
a
I
good
wonder
rat
how they're
burger.
surviving. You know,
I'm-
I mean, I'm not saying that they couldn't, but I mean, like, are there like rat farmers?
I mean, I wouldn't see why not if it's the only animal you can get, and you knock over a bunch of Taco Bells and you could feed people for a week.
True. I remembered seeing like when I started the movie, Jesse Ventura. I'm
Mhm.
like, and for the
Mhm.
longest time, I'm like, oh, where the hell is he?
He just shows
He
up.
shows up.
And then he's gone.
No, he's not.
Oh no,
He's the one he shoots Cocteau.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just shows back up. He's like, you know what? Kill this guy.
Yeah, and then he does.
Evil Mr. Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that actually like hits a nail on the head, really.
Yeah.
It's
Bullseye. Bullseye.
nail on the head.
Why? I just want to know, like, why in movies where they have like future dystopian shit, why do they always make it so fucking boring? Like the world up top is just so boring. Like the shit's just like plain colors. Everyone's wearing the same fucking robe and milkman hat, and like they don't do anything. Why is it so fucking boring every time?
I think it's part of the dystopian weird brainwashing that apparently goes on when you're a child in this society. That's like, because I was wondering that too. I'm like, why are all these people so, you know? And then I can understand why they've got those machines up for people that are all super depressed, like that dude. You know, because
you take out creativity and imagination, I guess.
Yeah, and these people are like, you know, there's bound to be people breaking eventually. You know, I mean, you can't deny like being human for that long. I mean, we're social creatures, regardless. You know.
Yeah, but you bring joy feelings to all those around you. I think you should be fine.
Yeah, you're fine, dude.
You look great today.
Yeah, and don't touch anybody. By the way,
I love the high five.
Yeah, you know, and that's kind of even messed up too. You can't even like literally like touching people.
Yeah,
you know, is that illegal? Can you can you go to jail for that?
Like, what if you bump into somebody on the streets? You get fined a credit?
Yeah, and I mean, like, when they're in the Taco Bell, can you pass the salt? Salt's illegal.
Yep.
Anything that's bad for you is illegal. Well, who says what's bad for me?
Cocteau says what's bad for you.
Yeah, but I might have a citrus allergy. You know.
What do you have a sodium deficiency? That's a thing. People get sodium deficiencies.
Yeah. The music.
Okay.
Are they not allowed to write new music?
Well, I think, like, I don't know. They never touch on that. They only had the classic stations, which are all like commercial jingles.
Yeah, but even in the Taco Bell, the dude is singing friggin' Jolly Green Giant. But I guess it's a classy place.
Yeah, it's a classy establishment. You go to a fancy restaurant, they play classical music. That's classical music is the Jolly Green Giant.
I guess it just, I don't know. But I mean, again, if we're talking about like not being able to touch people, not bumping into people, or being fined for doing things like that, then maybe you're right about the whole creativity thing. You don't really do that. Kind of seems like you just, you know, I don't know though. It's weird. The setup is weird.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, they still have the people that are like against it living underground. I mean, so they haven't really completely.
Well, that's why you got to get rid of him. That's why you got to get rid of Friendly. Things will be good.
He was trying to.
Because he's their leader. Regardless if he says he's not, he's the leader.
Well, I mean, it's funny because he's the one that like screwed it up, because he goes like, what the hell is John Spartan doing here? And he goes like, like the police chief is like, well, you told us to do everything.
Everything in your power.
He's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it backfired, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you idiot.
Bozo.
Like, he just wasn't... what I think his problem is he had just power for such a long time that he didn't think that there were going to be, like, repercussions for the shit he was doing. And I don't think he knew what he was messing with.
Yeah, he's infallible. I mean, he did over-the-top, idea of let's get Simon Phoenix on it. Can't be that bad of a guy. I didn't do any research on him, but I'm going to pump him full of so much things and information.
Even though, like, it's pretty obvious that being able to, like, look things up at your fingertips is a thing there.
Yeah.
I mean, they bring up John Spartan saving people, like, instantly.
I do. I think it's a mandatory thing that in a Stallone movie, he always has to run in slow motion and scream at the same time. Because he bookends it in the movie. I was watching it. Like, beginning of the movie, he's got Simon Phoenix running in slow motion from an explosion, right? Mm-hmm. And he was doing the whole time. End of the movie, he does the exact same thing. Doesn't have Simon Phoenix, but he's running in the explosion.
I know, and he had time to grab Huxley on the way out, apparently.
Well, I think only the cryo place blew up. And plus, I think she woke up. I don't know. I don't think they really were.
They didn't go much into that one.
Yeah, they didn't care too much.
Like, he saved her. That's what matters. And how was she all of a sudden just, like, cool with kissing him then?
Because of the violence and sex or whatever she said earlier.
Oh, that's right. She's like, oh, I'm so turned on by your being a badass, pretty much. I like how he just looks at her like, okay.
Okay, yeah. Right now?
Yeah.
The hunka chunka?
Nobody I
Has
know says that.
ever called it the hunka chunka.
Where is he from?
Who?
Stallone.
I don't know. From he's American. That's all I know.
Well, I know he's American, but I mean, like, what part of the country is he from? Maybe they say it there.
Let's see.
Well, okay, if this is going on YouTube,
he was born in New York City, so I guess in
Okay.
New York, a lot of people say hunka chunka.
if anybody from New York watches this, do you guys say that when you're referring to?
Intercourse.
Yeah. Do you say hunka chunka?
Yeah.
He even does the send a maniac to catch a maniac in the beginning and the end.
That's why he also bookends. It's like a callback to beginning. Phoenix was like, "Is it cold in here? Is it just me?" And then John does it later. He's like, "Is it cold in here?
Or is it
Or is it just me?" And he's like, "Good memory."
Yeah,
It's like,
good
dude,
memory.
to me that was like a few days ago because we were just frozen forever. So like,
was it though? Because they were conscious.
oh, that's true.
I mean,
That's
even
true.
Simon talks about like having a so and so year smile. I'm just like, damn, that would suck. Like they're lucky to not be just insane at that point when they're thought
Yeah.
out. You know.
Your wife banging her fist on the ice with her husband used to be. We used to be a husband. I don't know. I'm not good at a Stallone. I'm working on my Stallone.
You got mm-mm. I'm not still. I don't have a low enough voice for that. I don't think.
You're not gonna throw out a Stallone.
I don't have a Stallone.
Dane leaves the Stallone alone, right?
I
When it comes in.
don't Stallone. Maybe when I'm home alone.
Yeah,
I home
home-
Stallone. I mean, and that cryo prison just fell apart like a house of cards. So I mean, I always thought it was cool. You know when he picks up that like laser cutter thing and it
Mhm.
like just stops working, he just bangs it against the wall.
Ooh, it explodes open.
He still doesn't get him with that.
Because he's taking too long. He's got a toy with him. He's got a dick with him. You know.
Well, then he has to. That's when the final showdown happens.
Mhm. That's when it gets serious. That's when things get kicked up a notch. That's when John becomes the Demolition Man again.
When he kicks it into 12th gear.
Yeah.
Would you call this a good movie, or would you call it a good bad movie, or what do you?
I would give this movie 9 hunkas out of 10 chunkas.
I would agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those that's like I don't know if I'd call it. It's not a masterpiece by any means, but it's
No. But it's a good movie because
it's
once
good.
again it doesn't take itself serious. I think that's what made it a good movie. Because like it tried to take itself seriously with this concept. It's like it's fucking stupid.
no, it would have been dumb, and I mean, especially with. I don't know. I just don't think that Stallone could have made it like serious, regardless.
Yeah.
Like it probably would have turned out more. Well, I mean, I don't hate Judge Dredd, but I feel like it would have turned out more like that.
I think it holds up pretty well.
Well, I mean, as far as like the effects and stuff go with it, yeah, definitely. Because again, more practical than anything. I mean,
Always
even
gotta
that
go
like
practical.
even the part where he crashes in the car and it's like the foam.
Okay. Does
How
that
do
fill
they-
up your lungs? Because it's like surrounding you. So you have to have like breathe some of that in. So it's like your lungs filled with this like
I was
hardening
wondering
foam
that too,
now.
but when he kicks it open or like busts the side of that thing off, like it looks like there's like he's almost like in a cocoon, like it kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just assume that it's since the future they've got the technology worked out somehow. You know, I mean, they probably wouldn't put it in every car if it didn't work properly. But she was still worried about him. Apparently, it doesn't work every time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if airbags do every time either. So
Well, no. Good movie. Definitely worth a watch if you're into like old 90s like action movies that don't take themselves too seriously and know that it's from the 90s and know what you're going to expect.
yeah, I know we probably ruined all of it for you, but just give it a watch for yourself, for your
Yeah.
own sake.
Yeah, maybe you won't like it and you can leave a comment and be like, you guys are stupid.
And you guess what you know what I'm going to do?
Stupid.
I'm going to delete that comment because I don't give a shit.
No, I want it to shine. I want it to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody to see how stupid we are. And then we're going to watch another stupid movie and you guys are going to listen to us talk about it.
Fucking right you are.
Do we know what we're doing next or is it going to be a surprise?
I have no idea what we're going to be doing next.
Well, all right.
I didn't think this one through. This is our test run. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
This could be our one and only episode. Who knows?
So anyway, you can end it however you want.
I don't know how to end this too. Do we say like bye or?
Yeah, we could just yeah. Just one of these. Bye-bye. See you next time for another movie. A couple of dudes talking about a movie.